Russia-Ukraine news. Concern for the military's potential use of civilian drones in Ukraine has led China to limit their exports. Citing Russia's war in Ukraine and worries that civilian drones could be used for military purposes, China has restricted the export of long-range drones. On Monday, China placed limits on the export of long-range civilian drones, citing Russia's war in Ukraine and the possibility that these drones could be modified for military use. The government of China, led by Xi Jinping, is friendly with Moscow but claims to be neutral in the 17-month-long conflict. Speculation that both sides are using Chinese-made drones for reconnaissance and possibly attacks has hurt its reputation. To prevent their use for non-peaceful purposes, the Ministry of Commerce announced on Tuesday that export controls would go into effect. Some drone exports will be permitted, it said. Drone technology was pioneered and manufactured in China. One of the leading companies in the world, DJI Technology Company, announced in April 2022 that it was leaving the Russian and Ukrainian markets to prevent its drones from being used in armed conflict. The risk of some high-specification and high-performance civilian unmanned aerial vehicles being converted to military use is constantly increasing, the Ministry of Commerce warned. The ministry has stated that restrictions will be placed on drones that have a range of more than 400 meters, can stay in the air for more than 30 minutes, have payloads that can be thrown, and weigh more than 7 kilograms, 12 pounds. The Ministry of Commerce of China reported that, since the crisis in Ukraine, some Chinese civilian drone companies have voluntarily suspended their operations in conflict areas. It claimed that the United States and Western media were spreading false information about Chinese exports of drone technology. Friday, the government defended its normal economic and trade cooperation with Russia in response to a U.S. intelligence report that suggested Beijing supplied equipment used in Ukraine that may have had military applications. Russian customs data was cited in the report to show that Chinese state-owned military contractors exported goods like drones, navigational equipment, and fighter jet parts to Russia. If Beijing continues to back the Russian war effort, the Biden administration has threatened unspecified consequences. The report from last week did not specify which of the mentioned trades could cause retaliation from the United States. Before the Russian invasion in February 2022, Xi and Russian President Vladimir Putin declared their government's no-limits friendship. China has prevented any UN action against Russia for this attack and has instead repeated Russian justifications for it. We have always opposed using civilian drones for military purposes, the Chinese Ministry of Commerce said. China's expansion of its drone control capabilities this time around is modest, but significant because it shows the maturity expected of a major power. In March 2022, the Ukrainian government pleaded with DJI to halt the sale of drones it claimed were being used by the Russian ministry to direct missile strikes. DJI has denied allegations it shared information about Ukrainian military locations with Russia.